Welcome back to Keeping It Real. I'm David Grossman. Delighted to introduce you to Chris Karram from SAFEBRIDGE Financial. He is the co-chief executive officer there. An amazing company. I had the pleasure of meeting Chris through Steve Kornbluth,
Yeah.
Young mortgage agent who did an awesome job, and I thank Steve for introducing me to your company.
Steve is exceptional at what he does, there's no question.
He definitely is, and I had the pleasure of meeting you and a group of you the other night at an event that you put on. So your company has grown to something like 30 mortgage agents, or
Yep, we're actually sitting at about 32 currently.
And now you don't do mortgages yourself.
I don't, no sir.
You're more into the investment and insurance, is that right?
Yeah, that is definitely mostly right. You know, my kind of heritage and roots stem from the financial advisory business, and when we started SAFEBRIDGE about 6.5, almost 7 years ago actually, with my partner Alicio Siratakis, our objective was very simple, and just bringing the two services together, or the three really, and trying to give our clients an opportunity to really understand their entire situation as opposed to just focusing on one or the other and forget, in a sense, what else is out there. But today we are all very actively, including our other partner, Drew Donaldson, involved in working with a few of our clients still, but at the same time really focused on helping our team and our agents to excel at what they do every day.
It's interesting that the mortgage side of the business has grown in the largest, I guess, I would assume. I mean, just based on the number of people.
Right.
Why mortgages as being a core focus?
That's a great question. And for us, it really boils down to the simple fact that, you know, if you look at the mortgage industry as a whole, there have been a number of changes that have taken place over the course of the last 5 to 10 years. And for us, it opened an opportunity for us to try and come into an industry that we had a chance to raise the bar a little bit, challenge the status quo, and really take the concept of being a mortgage agent from being just a transactional business model to a professional consultative business model. And so for us, that's really why we put our entire focus into the mortgage business, because it just gives us a chance to make arguably a larger impact, both in the lives of our clients, but also in the lives of the team that we have surrounded ourselves with.
Well, there's no question a mortgage is a very important decision. You know, when you buy a house and you're borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars, very, very important decision. How do you train your mortgage agents?
That's another good question. I mean, it's we are very committed to raising that bar, you know, when it comes to professionalism. And you know, one thing that we've done recently, for example, is we've outsourced a partnership and aligned ourselves with an organization that really has come in for the last 3 months, and on a weekly basis we sit down and we break down the entire sales process. And every single one of our team members are involved in this on a weekly basis for 2 hours, and we really have stepped back and said, what are the best practices that you've used that we can then use as a team collaboratively to create the ultimate sales system from a mortgage perspective, so that our clients from start to finish get the same experience, get the same message, and get the same level of care that, you know, really all of us are trying to provide at the same time. You know, so that's just one aspect of how we've trained. Drew is our Executive Vice President of Sales, and so he's actively involved in mentoring and working alongside of any of our newer agents that have joined our firm. However, the truth is most of our agents have experience and are coming in, you know, with experience from other sources, and we're trying to say, how do we help you be better? You know, that's really what it comes down to, is we don't want our guys nor ourselves to just kind of reach a status quo. And so, you know, Drew's been very instrumental in that, as has Alicios, and, you know, a number of our team members, including Paula Needler, who's responsible for compliance and training and has, you know, implemented our monthly sales program where various lenders will come in and share their information and share, you know, how we can fit our clients into the various niches they obviously specialize in.
Right. Well, that's pretty awesome, because as a mortgage agent myself, I know it's a very competitive business.
Absolutely.
So to have grown to that many agents in a very short time, I think that's just within a year or two?
Yeah, it's really just been a couple of years that we've actually made a decision that we're actually going to intentionally try and grow SAFEBRIDGE Financial Group. I mean, the fact was we had opened the door simply to just deal with our individual clients. And, you know, on a somewhat organic level for the first couple of years, there were a few different individuals that asked if they could join the team, but we really, at the time, didn't have the resources, and that wasn't even really our overarching vision. But as time has progressed, we realized there really is an opportunity to reach out to these agents, to meet the right people, to find the right people and align ourselves with them in partnership and determine how as a group we can actually make a difference, specifically in the GTA, of course, but beyond that as well. And I keep going back to raising the bar, but we got back from camp and the overarching focus, without question, was as an industry, we need to raise the bar. We need to become like lawyers and accountants in a sense. Quite frankly, there's a lot of mortgage agents out there that have the ability to make the same money. And if we're doing that, we need to take the same level of responsibility every day we show up to the office. And so it really has been a short period of time, but at the same time, it's been pretty exciting to see that the people who have decided the SAFEBRIDGE is where they want to hang their hat, they're the right people. And we're very thankful for that.
Well, that's really great. And one of the things you were talking about when you were, took a couple of minutes to address the group the other evening, you were talking about character, which you don't hear a lot of people talking about. Everybody's just like results. Right. What have you done for me lately? And you were talking about character, which I thought, was very unique. How does that play into your operation?
Well, it's interesting you picked up on that, but for us, it's very simple. Our culture is arguably our number one focus. And the reason we believe so heavily in our culture is that we know that if our team that exists today has the right character, if our team has the right character, that means they then are going to work best with the people around them. They're going to work best with their clients. And so for us, it's not so much about the skill set or whether you've got 5 years of experience in the mortgage industry. It's about, do you have the character that says, I'm going to care about my colleagues. I'm going to care about the people around me. I'm not going to compete with them. I'm going to operate under the mentality of abundance versus scarcity. It also then goes even deeper to, if I've got the right character, I'm going to make sure I take care of my clients, because my clients are what matter to me. And I'm going to choose people over profit every time. And so character to us is something we can't teach, but skill is. So we're going to focus on character every time.
That's amazing. I caught on that you mentioned a mentality of abundance versus scarcity.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, before we opened the doors at SAFEBRIDGE, I was involved with another financial planning company, kind of on a larger national level. And all the sales rewards and competitions were all focused on being the best, being number 1, 2, or 3. And for us, we wanted to completely scrap that idea, because that creates an environment of competition. And in our office, we don't want to compete. We shouldn't compete. That's not what's best for everybody involved. And it's certainly not what's best for our clients either. So, for example, we do have a sales campaign, and I think like any good sales organization, we probably should. But our campaign is based on individual results, which simply means if you increase your personal volume by 25% or more every year, then you get to qualify, and we all get to go away and celebrate each other's successes. And for us, that's saying it's no longer about you and the other guy in the office, or you and the other guy that's not in the office. It's about you.
What a great idea.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. But, we're thankful that it's worked, and our group, our team is excited about it. And, it's just so much different to operate under the mentality where there's enough to go around, and there really is. I mean, within the GTA alone, there's enough business to go around. And, if that's the case, then let's actually focus on that and reward that appropriately, as opposed to say we're focusing on that and then reward our guys just because they're the best of the best.
Yes.
The best of the best to us is, did you increase your own volume? Were you better next year than you were this, or tomorrow than you were today? And if we can back that up, then I just think, we all think it's more beneficial for everyone involved.
As a mortgage agent, I must admit, I have found it difficult to compete in the A space, competing with banks and such. I have a feeling that there are some agents at your company that are making incredible numbers in that space. Where is your focus? Is it split A and alternative business where people don't qualify at the bank? Is it more one way or the other?
Yeah, I would definitely be more lopsided towards A business. And Steve, as you mentioned, Kornbluth, he's sort of our primary private mortgage agent. And quite frankly, I've got a lot of experience with mortgage agents, but also private agents from the past. And Steve is one of those shining stars that, without question, even from a compliance perspective, he's got far more compliance to deal with than any of us who are focusing on the A business, yet his paperwork is always the cleanest. So We were actually very hesitant to bring Steve on because that was never our intention, but he's demonstrated time and time again that he's exceptional at what he does. He in fact, you know, there was a conversation that had to take place because he was undercharging and not making enough that was justifiable for him, yet at the same time has always had just extremely positive feedback from his clients. But when all the dust settles, we really are an A business firm for the most part, and as you know, we still have access to the major banks, so you know, we're not missing out on that, and that's where that level of professionalism, you know, really differentiates the guys that have, again, chosen to call SAFEBRIDGE home.
Well, I must say that's pretty amazing, Chris, and I'm really glad that we connected, and I can say personally that I would look forward to hopefully speaking with you further about how we might be able to work together. You guys are obviously doing something right, so that's terrific, and thank you very much for being part of today's show.
Thanks for having me, David.
Appreciate it. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Emil Kyriakos. Here's a gentleman who has broken the mold. He's helping people find amazing investment opportunities in Toronto and also in the U.S. We're going to focus on some of these incredible opportunities in the U.S. Did you know that you can buy a property for around $20,000 or $25,000 that is generating a positive cash flow? Hang in there. Find out more about it. I'll be back in just a minute.